Hi.
I haven't used that one in a while. Sorry. Oh my gosh, I'm stuck up here. How is everybody doing tonight? Sorry, y'all. Still trying to push the buttons the right way and do all that great stuff. And look who I found. We have our great friend Yoli over here. Guys, I put her stuff for her page up at the top of the chat. Please make sure you're subscribed. She is very kind and helping us out. We're gonna do this thing. Oh man, y'all, it's this got sent to me. What was that? Friday,
Yeah.
Saturday, something like that. It's all a big blur to me, to tell you the truth. And I was like, oh man, what's going on? Like I don't have time to look at it. I forgot today as I was getting ready for the show. I was just getting ready to have like a I don't know what I was gonna do. Like there's a plane that went upside down. Did you see that plane?
Yes, yes, I did. And I took some weird pictures in the sky the other day. When was it? Saturday? Oh God,
Hmm.
I've never seen anything like it. I gotta show them to you. It
Okay.
looked like jets crisscrossing.
Well, they're playing tic tac toe with the chemtrails.
I, I have no idea. But then this everything was cloudy, like foggy, and then the sun looked weird, and there was like a gas kind of coming up. I don't know. It was the most bizarre thing. Believe me, I'm trying to work on a brief, and it's taking me a while because I keep getting distracted with all these plane crashes.
I'm sorry. I feel like it's all my fault. Guys,
And
I'm
then
gonna try
I
to.
woke up on Saturday, and there's like a short from you saying that Philadelphia is under an emergency orders, and I'm like, what? And it was a short you did on the Philadelphia crash, and I thought, oh, it's not now.
Oh, that finally went up.
Yeah.
That was supposed to go up a while back. That wasn't
Scared
my fault. That's scheduling. That's called scheduling. I don't know if that's my fault or not. It went out.
It scared me, man.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to do that. I didn't mean to do that. Guys, I see everybody in the chat. We're gonna try. I'm going to. You guys are gonna have to have a little patience with me. I'll say hi to you throughout the show, but I do want to get through this so we don't. Who knows? When you start getting into it, Yoli, who knows, right? We might get dumbfounded on. I'm just gonna stop talking. Um, but yeah, the I did earlier. I was like, I saw that plane. And I was like, the only thing that's got me is I haven't seen it. Um, how it flipped upside down. But
I
thankfully, everybody's safe. That's good. But I don't see many planes upside down.
no, and there was a fire when it hit.
Yeah.
I have no idea. I saw some people like trying like doing like selfies, not selfies, but self videos, saying, "Oh my God, I was in a plane crash," and I mean, it's frightening. It's like, what the hell's going on? There was another helicopter that crashed in San Diego not too long ago.
Oh
Helicopter.
wow.
Yeah, it's just
That's not good.
no.
I
Anyway,
saw new footage last night of the DC incident, and it's funny. I don't know where they got that one video where they said that they arrested the people at the airport that released it.
mm,
That was weird. I haven't heard anything else about that. And then there was more video. I evidently came out a few days ago. I just saw it last night, and um, sorry, I just saw this comment. I didn't pull that up.
what is that?
Squirrels happen here.
Oh,
Squirrels happen here. But uh there's it was a dash cam that they were sitting in their car at a parking lot across from the river and got the whole thing. It's I don't know, it's weird.
it
Bad.
is weird. Very weird.
But we're okay. We are here and we are here to discuss the craziness of everything that's going on. So Yoli, so what's happening here is this is from our friends the Hales ongoing litigation, right? And well, I guess we're friends with everybody. We're friends with everybody over here. So but it's the ongoing litigation. And sorry, I got distracted. I saw
Don't
something. I saw something move over here. I'm like, wait, what's happening? Anyway, oh, that's better. I like that better. There it is. Um, so ongoing litigation. A month ago, you want to start with that?
Yeah.
We'll try to explain here. You know what? I don't have it pulled up. Boy, this is my professionalism showing, guys. I swear. Um, oh, hey, I was over at Rosamond Ranch earlier. If you guys, she is 20 away from 1,000. So please go sub up over there. And
The
we have
donkeys.
yes, the donkeys. And we have there's a new member of the I guess it's a member of the family. It's Tommy. Forgot Tommy's name now. How did I forget Tommy's name?
With
Somebody will
Tommy,
remind me.
your last name?
Somebody, who was that Tommy person that came in? They raided Rosamond's stream, and then I went over there and I hung out with him. And he's a cool guy. He's got the coolest stream. Like, he's sitting there. This guy's been there like for 7 hours.
Oh my God.
Um and he's I saw the Nolanator. Like Tommy Temper. Thank you, T. Holy cow, man. How do you forget Tommy Temper? That's the easiest name in the world to remember. Anyway, they came in, they rated Roseman, got her like 20 something subs, and now she's like 20 away from 1,000. I was like,
Oh,
oh man, that'd be awesome. We get that for her. So we'll work on that a little bit later. But let me go ahead and pull this up. Golly, I'm sorry. Where did my there it is. And let's see here. So the original here that was asked for is the get this. I share. No, oh, sorry, I shared the wrong thing. One day I'm going to share something and be like, I don't even know what that is. Okay, so this is what kind of got everything started. This was a motion to transfer. Yeah, let me get. I've got a. There it is. I had some on my screen. The case. When was this one filed? This was filed.
it's 11 up on top.
Oh, does it say? Oh,
Stamp.
sorry.
It says
So
1/14/25.
all right. So this was filed a month ago, and the next day the judge did an order. So this was all done. Look at this. This is how many pages is this? 20 pages. They did on this motion to transfer from Pensacola to Gainesville, and the to the federal court in Gainesville from the federal court in Pensacola. This action's happening in Gainesville. So the very next thing was that the judge wait, hold on.
The judge said, "What are you talking about? It is in Gainesville, right?"
And that is right here. Oh, by the way, I can pull up multiples. I forgot about that. That is so cool. Sorry, I'm learning, guys. I'm learning. It's how you have to do this all over again. It's all smoke and mirrors.
Yeah.
So the order was wait, why isn't that moving? Oh, sorry, wrong one. This is the order.
Up on top, it says United States District Court for the Northern District of Florida, Gainesville Division.
Yeah.
It's in the Gainesville.
And that's where the judge said, the matter, this is before the court motion to transfer. No response by plaintiff is necessary. In the motion, defendants asked the court to transfer this case to the Gainesville Division. There is no merit to that request because, as reflected in the case caption above, right there, the case is already in the Gainesville Division and has been since the day it was filed. That's pretty important. That's pretty basic, I think. Kind of.
Well, it's I think
that's an oversight. It's a drastic oversight.
Well, because down at the footnote, it says Pretrial
Sorry.
hearings will not, oh, the footnote. Pretrial hearings will not necessarily occur in Gainesville. So, nor does any party have a right to have a hearing or even a trial held in a particular division within a judicial district. Recognizing that there is no constitutional right to trial within a division of a judicial district. The court will, however, consider holding pretrial hearings in Gainesville upon the request of parties. But see, that's where I get confused because this is in Gainesville.
It's because for pretrial stuff, none of the parties are in Gainesville. One's in Otter Creek, which is in Levy County. It's a couple counties south of Gainesville, and the other is Ohio based.
Yeah.
Hey, Slug Entertainment, how you doing? What did the salamanders do it? Wait, hold on, I'm on the wrong side. Slug. So you admitted to kissing salamanders. Oh, Slug was streaming the other day and he asked a question. He said, "So do you know who did this? Do you know who did this?" And I think that was the question. And I was like, let me guess, it had something to do with a salamander. I only had like 2 minutes. I saw him on. I was like, oh, this is awesome. So Slug's good to see you, buddy. Anyway, yeah, so this is the parties don't live in Gainesville necessarily.
Okay, so they're just,
they don't
okay.
live there.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm taking it as. Defendant's motion indicates the plaintiff's counsel has refused to confer over the telephone in an effort to narrow the issues. Yeah, so that's the thing. So he does answer a thing that was in that motion to move, and that was the evidently the plaintiff won't talk to him on the telephone, and that's been resolved since then. So yeah, but I think this is funny. The court therefore orders the parties to confer telephonically or in person regarding the issues raised in plaintiff's motion to compel, document 52. So is this an order in the footnotes?
It looks like it, but it's the order is document 52. He's just saying that he's reiterating his order.
Oh,
but the real
yeah.
order is in document 52.
I see.
But he does say that better not be the case, and but hopefully that's been resolved, that they meet and confer by telephone.
Hey, Tricky Nicky. It wasn't a case in Levy County. Levy County, though, doesn't have this is for the federal. The federal doesn't have a court in Levy County. So they can't.
There isn't a court in the county?
Well, there's not a federal court.
Oh, federal.
That's right. Yeah. Yeah, they have to have a courthouse to be a county, right? And Deborah Kennedy, yeah, that's after this. All this is just a preliminary. I'm just showing what got us to what we're going to talk about today, which is, do you think I have it pulled up? I don't. So I'm going to end my screen share. Sorry, while I pull this up. Holy cow. There's so many, you know what? For somebody's got so many screens and everything, you think I'd have this all figured out by now, wouldn't you?
No.
I had it pulled up. I did. I had it pulled up. I just had to hit the little minus bar. And it would have been right there. All the simple things. Let's see here. Let's go here. I do this. And there it is. So this is what we're going to talk about tonight. This was the other day. This came out, I think, like Friday. Haven't seen anything new. So I guess we are trying to save electronic paper because the motion to reconsider and the memorandum of law are on the same document. So they're not filed separately like they have before. So, okay, motion for reconsideration. What do you think about this? as far as the federal rules, you have a year to do it, and it is. Let's see, where did I have this up there? Yeah. So let's see here.
Well, I mean, it says a supporting memorandum follows in accordance with local rule 71E. So I guess the local rule requires the supporting memorandum to follow the actual motion. So when they were doing it separately, maybe that wasn't in accordance with local rule 7.1.
I didn't even think about looking at local rules.
Yeah, well, there's a lot of local rules in different districts that you wouldn't necessarily be familiar with, but you have to look it up. So I guess maybe he's doing it pursuant to the local rule. That's why
Yeah, he
it's
is.
together.
Hey, Papa Jim, how you doing? And also, check this out, Stacy. Haven't seen you in a while. How you doing, babe? It's funny. Stacy, she used to have a music store in Asheville. She lives out in California now. And anyway, it's funny that her and Danielle have the same taste in music.
Hmm.
And yeah, weird how I remember little things like this, right? Um. Anyway, so this is in support memorandum follows in accordance to local rules. All right, so oh man, I that's hilarious. So see how this comes up? Like he comes up on the bottom thing, comes up in the screen. You can't see it when it's on a white background. But Bad Duck says live, fart, laugh, and don't wear pants. That's the duck rule. Don't wear pants.
Mhm.
Okay. So let's see here. Rule 60B provides relief from an order, mistake, or inadvertence for any reason that justifies relief. The defendants respectfully submit that mistake and inadvertence, as well as prejudice to the defendants of being unable to procure local counsel in Gainesville, warrant reconsideration of the denial of transfer. The court's order mistakenly characterized the defense motion as asking to transfer the case to Gainesville Division and stated there is no merit to that request because, as reflected in the case captioned above, the case is already in Gainesville. In fact, the first paragraph of the defendant's motion acknowledged that the case was already in the Gainesville Division and made clear the issue was the location to the courthouse where proceedings would be held. What does that even mean?
Well,
I mean, the courthouse is the courthouse.
yeah, no, is that the case? Yeah, it's already in Gainesville. And so what he's saying is that the issue is the location of the courthouse where the proceedings would be held. And I don't know if that's the trial or if that's motions or proceedings where he has an issue with where proceedings are going to be held, whatever proceedings he's talking about. It could be trial.
Well, this let's see here. Where did the other one go?
So it says the defendants pursuant to 20 transfer to transfer further proceedings in this action to the Gainesville Federal Courthouse on the grounds of forum nonconvenience. This case was filed in the Gainesville Division, which covers Levy County, where all the parties and in-state witnesses reside, but proceedings were assigned to Pensacola. Oh, is that true? The proceedings were assigned to Pensacola?
I do not believe so. So let's see here. Where is, because that was, nope, that's 78. 55 is the order. So there we go. So we're back on the order, right? Why do I have this thing? It stays on my screen. The case already in Gainesville Division says filed. If there's a trial in the matter, they'll be held in the federal courthouse. Although the undersigned's chambers may be in Pensacola, judges in the Northern District of Florida are assigned civil cases district-wide and are not limited to a particular division. As standing in the case assignment order reflects, the undersigned is assigned 25% of all cases in the Gainesville Division.
This is okay.
And this case is one of the 25%.
Right. Okay. That makes sense. So he's the judge's chambers is in Pensacola, but he's presiding over the Gainesville 25% of the Gainesville civil cases.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I mean, it's a district court. I mean, he travels the district.
Mhm.
So I don't know what their um,
I don't know.
transfer proceedings is action. It doesn't say anything about it. The order says nothing about it.
Mm, they're not assigned to Pensacola. The judge is Chambers and is in Pensacola.
That's what the nominator says, that the depot was in Pensacola because the two couldn't get along in the Zoom depot. That is why.
Oh, in Pensacola, the depot? Ah,
Wait, hon, what's happening? Is the stuff going slow? Hey Danielle, how you doing?
hi, Danielle.
Um, okay, I don't understand it. I mean, it's again, everything that's said outside of this, I don't know about. All I know is what's right here in front of us. Uh,
I think that the attorney that's writing this might be confused about what it means, that the chambers are in Pensacola, but he presides over Gainesville civil cases, and therefore it's he will preside over Gainesville cases.
I'm guessing that he's never done federal court. Well, I mean, it's a district though. I mean, it's in the name, district court. District judges may move around.
Well, yeah, especially nowadays since they're like the resources are scarce and
Yeah.
they have to,
Oh,
yeah.
well, like here, okay, so like, hey y'all, this is a good thing. So like on the east of the Mississippi, it's a little bit different than it is on the west of Mississippi. And so the way uh like out west, they have huge counties. Like they have counties the size of states. Whereas here, like Tennessee, we got 95 counties. And it's like Nevada, I think has like 15 maybe or something. Not even that many. But like our stuff was all set up for like our counties and everything in Tennessee. You had to be able to go by horseback to the courthouse and back home in a day. So like Shelby County, where Memphis is, it's a really big county. It's all flat. You get to like the eastern counties, they're very small because they're in the mountains. And anyway, but like the districts, like a district, like if it's a highly populated county, that might be its own district court.
Mhm.
And this is on state level. This is state, not federal. It has nothing to do with this. I don't know how they do it. Like, say we're out there. I don't know how California district courts are set up. I know nothing about that. But like here, so like the first judicial district, you might say, has like 5 different counties in it. And if you are a district court judge, you have court in each one of those counties. And there'll be like 3 district court judges, and they rotate on
Yeah.
each courthouse.
I have heard of that.
Um,
Yeah.
so, like I said, I don't know how it's out west because it's different. Like the constitutions are different and stuff. Like you have referendums.
Yeah.
And see, like we don't have them here in the east.
Yeah, it's
But
different. It's different. It's very different. And here we have districts, but the judges stay where they are. They don't travel. But I have heard of that in other, like basically the South, it's like that.
see, and I don't know how like because like Bruce, he's from Massachusetts, and not only is Massachusetts a small state in the Northeast, it's a Commonwealth, and they like to just be a little bit different than everybody else.
Yeah, but this attorney has a local counsel, right? I mean, he should.
You have to, don't you? The
Yeah, you
sponsor you.
do. So, what is this? You rearrange the letters in the word mother-in-law. You get.
This is from Bad Duck. Bad Duck says, I find it interesting that if you rearrange it with letters and mother-in-law, you get the words woman.
Oh, so okay. So I was sent also a transcript, um, and the depot was with the judge. Is that right?
I have not read any of the depots. I don't know.
Okay.
Which transcript are you talking about?
It was a transcript that Shane Reynolds sent to me.
Yeah, but who is it? That was who's being is a
Well,
deposition?
Jeremy was being deposed, and the judge was interposing things. And I thought, what is this trial? Is this from a trial, or is this because normally we don't have judges in depositions, but perhaps I know that judges
So,
do sit in depositions when it's problematic.
yeah, what's contentious? It's I know that in the first one that Jeremy did, that they had a lot of problems.
Mm,
The um, the the
that's
defense
important.
counsel was very the speak frankly. The way I kind of take it is that they were, you know how you want an answer, right? And they kept asking the same question to get the answer until they got the answer they wanted.
Mhm.
And that's what it felt like. It felt very, to me, reading it felt very strategic. Um,
Well, I did
I
read.
was sitting there going, like, if you got a problem with it, like, you just pick up the phone and call the judge. That's what, I mean, I don't know if federal, but I mean, locally, that's what I would always witness.
Yeah, they do have. Yeah, that's how we do it here. We have to set up informal pretrial. I mean, motion discovery conference with the judge. So yeah, that's kind of like how we do it here in state court. But I noticed that
Thank you,
Jeremy was
Dominic.
responding, and he was saying that he relied on studies as to how many people travel on that street where the sign was posted, or that highway. And he sounded he sounded intelligent to me, just based on what I read, which wasn't much.
Uh, Yeah, I mean, yeah, Jeremy's a very successful businessman, and a lot of times when people approach this, they'll ask about like the way he talks, and his style of talking and everything is very, very professional. I say professional, I mean that as in like it is business professional. It
Mhm.
is uh he doesn't have he doesn't have that political swagger. He doesn't have the lawyer legalese. He talks like a businessman, and they are very in tune, very fast thinking, and very matter of fact. And I think that's Jeremy. I mean, he's obviously, I mean, like I said, he's a very successful businessman. I mean,
Mhm.
he's not a some schmuck from the beach. He didn't show me football. Say, hey
YouTube.
man, I'm here to see my neighbor. Uh, but anyway, the defendant supported their motion and the legal authority in every pertinent factor, but the court's order did not discuss the authorities cited in the defendant's motion. Why would they? The court's mistaken description and terse summary denial of the defendant's motion became an immediate cause celebre. Here we go. On YouTube, among the plaintiff supporters and surrogates, and a blues song was written, Gainesville to Gainesville, mocking the undersigned based on the court's
Yeah.
order.
Why so like that kind of stuff, you know, the court has no control over what other people do and whether they write a blues song. So that's just putting something in there that doesn't really need to be in there. It's just going to probably irritate the judge, but the court can't do anything about that. So to me, that's just a throw in. But he starts out with the court's mistaken description and terse summary denial of defendant's motion. Well, it was just a denial of it. It was a denial of his motion. It wasn't
Yeah.
necessarily
Yeah.
mistaken.
I see. I think all this here we puts in the court's mistaken description. It's the YouTube among the plaintiffs, and I mean, even puts in a link.
No,
Uh,
just leave it at the authority that the order did not discuss the authority cited in defendant's motion. Period. That's what you want to argue.
could you imagine the judge clicking the link and going to somebody's Google Drive
What is that going to
and
do?
watch? Hey, here's a question. So it was so the person, we'll leave her name out of it. The person who did the video,
Mhm.
How does that work? Because like I know like YouTube. See, I don't know legally any of this stuff. It's just a thought. For him to take a clip of her stream, like for YouTube, she can make a copyright claim, but he's using it as evidence in court.
Well, the problem with this is that it isn't evidence, because this motion is not an evidentiary hearing. I mean, for this motion for reconsideration, you're not providing evidence to transfer the case to a different place that you think it should be transferred, even though it is in that place, but the attorney doesn't quite grasp that it's the judge's chambers that is in Pensacola. And so it's not like a summary judgment where most of the times you have to provide evidence. So I'm not sure what the purpose of adding this is in. Um, it's a throw-in, and in terms of any copyright claim, it is privileged because it's in a document that's in a court document. So it's in litigation, so he may have a litigation privilege, but I don't know how far that litigation privilege extends, because this isn't an evidentiary motion. The issue is where the proceedings are going to take place, as the defendant claims. And so that's just I don't know why that's in there. I wouldn't put that in there.
So you're saying, yeah, it has nothing to do with what they're asking for here.
It's like saying to the court, look, you denied our motion, and then that caused your denial of our motion caused this.
Me to be made fun of.
Yeah, okay, but like I said, the court has nothing to do with that. People can make fun of other people. The court in this proceeding has nothing to do with that. The court can't do anything, and instead, this is coming across as, look what you did, court. To me, anyway, that's just my opinion. And he puts the link, like, look at what your denial of my motion caused. And it's just odd. I wouldn't put that in there, but that's just my opinion.
Yeah. I mean, again, it has nothing. I mean, you can't rule on it. There's nothing to it. It's like saying, by the way, I had a cheeseburger and French fries for lunch.
Yeah. And I got and I got sick.
This. I didn't get my way over here, so I ate a cheeseburger today. And anyway, I want to get my way now.
Well, it's just a weird thing to put in there, and I don't know this attorney, and I don't know if he thinks that putting what he did in there is going to help him. But in my opinion, I don't see that it even belongs there, but that's just my opinion.
Let's see here. The court apparently inadvertently overlooked the prejudice to the defendant's ability to find local counsel due to proceedings being held in Pensacola, as explained by the defendant's motion. Again, so this is so weird to me. Gainesville is 3 times larger than Pensacola, and as such, the undersigned will more likely be able to find and retain local counsel for proceedings there. In fact, the undersigned is in discussion with both a Gainesville firm and Jacksonville solo attorney, and their potential involvement would hinge on the proceedings being transferred to Gainesville and not another location in the lower district of Florida. Jacksonville to Gainesville is not close. It's like 70 miles on a state highway. It sucks. It's a horrible drive. Like, I don't understand what any of this has to do with it. And this guy lives in Massachusetts.
Well, that's the thing. He lives in Massachusetts, and he is the attorney that is signing all the documents. What difference, I mean, does it make if they want to get now local counsel to be in Gainesville as opposed to the local counsel that's already sponsoring him? So this again is not the court's problem. He overlooked the prejudice of the defendant's ability to find local counsel. Well, sorry, but you do have local counsel in the state, right? He's sponsoring this Massachusetts attorney, so I don't see how this is gonna change the court's decision.
Yeah. Yeah. See, well, here, Norgelis, the thing, it's not. There's nothing to transfer. It's always
It's
been in
already in
Gainesville.
It's just the judge's chambers are in
In
Pensacola, and
Pensacola.
yeah, and if there was a deposition where the judge presided, it happened in Pensacola. So,
But let's go back a little real quick, though, because I'm just looking at these two together. Like, this is what we're going here. This is the paragraph. The defendants supported their motion with legal authority on every pertinent factor of the court's order, but the court's order did not discuss the authority cited. Because the court didn't cite the authorities, YouTubers wrote a song, a blues song about it. Period. Then we go, the court apparently inadvertently overlooked the prejudice to the defendant's ability. Wait a second, we were talking about a blues song in the last paragraph. Right?
So,
I mean,
the prejudice is not okay. So he has this defendant or defendants. They have legal counsel in Florida, in the state of Florida. They have legal counsel from Massachusetts that is being sponsored by local counsel in Florida. So they need to work it out. The court is not going to say, oh, for your convenience, you should, maybe you should have thought about it sooner. I mean, the court's not going to say, the court is not there to help any party get legal representation. They should already have that if they're going to appear in court.
Yeah.
But I don't know what this judge is going to do with this. I'd like to see what happens.
Right.
And then it says, a Gainesville lawyer willing to help find local counsel there wrote to the undersigned that it would be pointless for them to approach any lawyers about the case unless proceedings are to be held in Gainesville. See, that's an issue where the court had said previously, yeah, we can have the pretrial thing or hearings in Gainesville. It's a matter of, I guess, scheduling.
Yeah, I don't know. Let's see here. I'm looking at the chat, trying not to get lost pulling it up. But sorry, if I look disinterested, I'm just reading the chat. The order denying the defendant's original motion, footnote 1, explains that there is no right to have a hearing held in a particular division within a district, but nothing in the defendant's motion suggested they were asserting such a right. The defendant's motion offered straightforward reasons and legal authority for transferring proceedings to Gainesville's federal courthouse.
It is in the Gainesville federal courthouse. He just doesn't understand. I don't think he understands that the judge's chambers are in Pensacola. That's what he doesn't understand. Yeah. And but I don't know. I've heard of that, what you were saying about how judges, they travel,
Yeah.
District judges in federal court. And primarily, from what I can recall, it's in the east. It's in the south, in the south. And so they travel. It's just weird to that area. I've heard of that. So I understand what the court is saying when he says it's already in Gainesville district, but my office is in Pensacola, Florida. My chambers, okay? So he will go to Gainesville when the proceedings start.
I've had this discussion before. I just realized this years ago. And there is you can file in anywhere within the federal district. There's no,
well, they send you to wherever. Like if if I file
Wait
something,
a second here. Whoa, time out. We're overthinking this. Jeremy's a resident of Ohio. He is putting himself, like, okay, it's like the district court. They have a main court. I guess that would probably be the Gainesville court.
well, yeah,
Is the main chambers.
well,
That's where he filed it. It's up to the plaintiff because the plaintiff is putting themselves at the disadvantage of, they've been wronged. You know, that's why it's a defendant. They're trying to be made whole because this person that lives in this district has wronged me. I'm choosing this court not out of whatever for the defendant, but because that's what's the easiest for me to file in.
it's probably the proper place to file.
Yeah, you don't go with what the defendant wants
Like, where was the
unless
sign? The sign was that was
it's
the local.
Levy County. Everything happened down Levy County.
Okay, so
The closest court's Gainesville.
okay, so it is the problem is this Massachusetts attorney and doesn't understand that the judges' chambers are in Pensacola, Florida. So if I didn't hear this before, if I had never heard of this before, I would be confused as well. So maybe he's confused, but it's a matter of not understanding. And because maybe there was a proceeding in Pensacola, Florida, and that proceeding might have been a deposition where, look, you people can't work it out. You're coming here, and you're going to have the deposition here. It's more of a if you can't work it out, you come here. If you don't want to come here, work it out and do your deposition where you want to do it.
All right.
Let's just.
Where does it go? In response to requesting his consent to transferring proceedings, the plaintiff's counsel emailed January 14th threatening sanctions if the motion to transfer were filed. What are you doing is a thinly veiled attempt to remove the magistrate. This will be brought out and fleshed out in detail in our reply, along with the Rule 11 motion for sanctions and possibly even a count against you for abuse of process.
So
I might pee.
So what
necessary.
happened? What happened is the judge nipped that in the bud and said, it's not necessary for plaintiff to answer this. In other words, it's not necessary for the plaintiff to request sanctions because it already is in Gainesville, and I'm just going to deny it. Like, look, he doesn't need to be ruling on other motions like sanctions. This is just, he's just nipping it at the bud, and this is what he's trying to do. He's trying to keep the parties focused on the litigation rather than on peripheral stuff about where the case is and where, you know. So that's what I see. He's just nipping it in the bud. And that's probably why he just denied it without having the first one. He denied it because without having the plaintiff respond, because if the plaintiff responds, he's going to have to rule on a sanctions motion, and it's unnecessary. He's trying to stop this unnecessary litigation. So why this person is putting this in there, I don't know. It's going to make him want to deny it more because he doesn't want this type of litigation in his house. This type of style, you know?
Yeah, I mean, it's well, let's see here. What's the next part here? To be clear, the defendant's original motion and the present one have nothing to do with who will preside, but only to seek to have the proceedings be accessible and to be able to find local counsel in Gainesville to assist in litigation as soon as possible, even for issues heard remotely.
Okay, why do they need local counsel in Gainesville, even for issues heard remotely? If issues are going to be held remotely, why can't Bruce appear? Why can't the local counsel that's sponsoring this Massachusetts attorney appear? This isn't making a whole lot of sense. I mean, I appear remotely for court in LA. Thank God I don't have to drive. I appear remotely for, you know, I mean, the best thing that ever happened out of COVID was that I can appear remotely at court hearings and do remote depositions. I don't have to leave my house. So I don't understand what this is about. I mean, it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, for even for issues heard remotely. That doesn't make any sense.
I mean, it's okay. So let's think. What would happen if this? What did these words mean? Like, what are the answers that satisfy the question? And
Look, you have two. We
it's
have
like
two
he wants to
lawyers.
hand it off.
It's like
Maybe I don't know.
we have we have two lawyers. One sponsoring the lawyer in Massachusetts, and one that is local counsel. But now we want to find another local counsel in Gainesville to assist with the litigation, not to take over, but to assist.
I'm
Okay.
going to just go out on a limb and say they probably prefer somebody with federal experience too.
Well, they probably know they need help, maybe.
At this point, you need to contact the University of Florida and see if they can get with their legal aid society.
Well,
You know, it's like it's one. Of the,
and federal court is so, part of it is easy, but the other part of it is the local rules and stuff like that. And I haven't appeared in federal court in a long time, but you know, there shouldn't be any motions to compel in federal court, because I think it's Rule 26, where you have to give all of your disclosures, everything you have about the case. You have to exchange. It's like criminal law, where you exchange everything. You mutually
yeah.
exchange everything in the beginning of the case, and then you have a duty to supplement if you come into more information. And if they're working on like normal attorneys, that's probably what would happen. But there's a lot of emotion in this case. I could tell already. There's so much emotion. And the person who was wronged has a lot of emotion as well. I mean, it's no joke to be accused of something like, PDF file and it being posted on a highway. So, I mean, the attorneys are the ones who have to have the level head. And right now, it's like, it's a lot of confusion and a lot of unnecessary litigation.
And also, this is document 78. The document, what was the one that they're referring to here? Is document 55. There's 23 documents between in a month. There's been 23 documents filed.
Mm.
I mean, that's a lot. Over.
So this is why the judge is probably just saying it's not necessary for the plaintiff to answer or respond to the motion. He's trying to cut it off. That's what it sounds like to me. And if I were, I mean, it's okay to need help if you don't understand what the hell's going on. I mean, just
that's why you're here.
no, but I mean, you know what I mean? Like, I mean, there's nothing wrong with asking for help if he needs help, but he needs to do that on his own. Like, not involve the court to help him get help. It's like, you're burdening the court with something that you have control over.
You see what Jeanette says here?
16 motions denied. Okay, so this is, it's a reaction. It's almost like this attorney, Bruce, whatever his name is, and I have no idea who he is, and this is just my opinion, knowing barely what I know, is that he's reactionary.
I've never heard him talk even.
Yeah. He's reactionary, and that's probably because his client is reactionary. And it kind of, I don't know what his client, the defendants are like, but it's a reactionary type of thing where they're constantly filing something in reaction to whatever is perceived to be the issue. And the judge is like, look, you have an issue, you deal with it with counsel for the plaintiff. And same with the plaintiff. Plaintiff, you have an issue, first deal with it with counsel for the defendant. And so in California, in federal court, before you ever bring a motion, you have to meet and confer, which means you talk it out.
Yeah.
And you have to provide a declaration that says, on such and such date, we met or we talked on the phone and you have to have that declaration before you file a motion. Otherwise, the motion is not going to be heard. So
I don't know. Let's see here. The plaintiff's counsel demanded the undersigned correct your misrepresentation. Okay. The court order noted in footnote 2, defendant's motion. There's no footnotes up here, right? Yeah.
no.
Defendant's motion indicates document 54 at 15:1. That's what we just went over right before this. The plaintiff's counsel has refused to what?
Oh,
I
was reading it with you, but go ahead, read it.
Oh, the plaintiff's counsel has refused to confer over the telephone in an effort to narrow the issues raised in a pending motion to compel. The reference footnote in the defendant's motion stated plaintiff's counsel admittedly refuses my phone. Adamantly, sorry. Yes, adamantly refuses any phone communication, including any additional calls in furtherance of narrowing issues raised in the plaintiff's motion to compel. The plaintiff's counsel emailed the undersigned minutes after the order was issued. Counsel, if you do not correct your misrepresentation, we'll be filing a motion for sanctions. This is not the first time you've misrepresented something in this court. It'll be brought up in any event, but if you do this in the future, it'll be at your peril. I expect to see a filing correcting your footnote, even though your motion was denied so fast, it made me think we have a new high-speed line directly to the judiciary in this country.
And there is a footnote. See that one right there?
Yeah.
What does a footnote say?
The plaintiff's counsel's communications on practically every issue include accusations, insults, sarcastic comments, and or threats of sanctions. Much time is always wasted.
Okay. So see,
it's projecting.
Well, it could be projecting. Yeah, absolutely. But I mean, I don't know enough about the case to know, but putting things like that in a motion is going to make the judge want them to meet and confer. And you're going to see that. Yeah. You're going to see that. It's going to be, you people don't come to me with your whining about counsel insulting you or doing stuff like that. If you have a problem, you guys have to deal with it. And it's not professional to be insulting people if that's what's happening. And there's a remedy. Just make sure if you use it, it's for the right reasons. I mean, you know, I've had attorneys try to do this, and I don't engage. In other words, I ignore it and it goes away, because the more you react to it, the more they continue. And this is not a game. This is somebody who was wronged, allegedly, through the complaint or whatever the complaint is, that he was defamed and a sign was put on a highway that he was a PDF file. And so that's the issue. Okay. So in terms of getting along with counsel, that's something that counsel should be able to deal with. And if they can't, then they're going to feel the ramifications when the judge starts he's trying to nip it in the bud. Yeah, he's just going to nip it in the bud. He's just going to nip it in the bud. No response is necessary. In other words, he's telling plaintiff's counsel when he says plaintiff does not need to respond, meaning cut it off. Don't feed it. Keep going.
You know, something, and this is just I don't know, maybe it's just like a personality thing. Like I wonder about is when hearing this statement, it's like, let's see here, in the future, it'll be at your peril. Let's see here. Where was the one? Hang on, let me see here. What was I thinking of? The reference footnote defense motion state plaintiff's counsel adamantly, sorry, again.
Okay.
Additional calls, therefore, the plaintiff's counsel emailed the undersigned minutes after. It's where he's talking about the sanctions.
Oh, yeah, it says, I expect to see a filing even though your motion, okay.
Yeah. Oh, here is first sentence. Duh. Counsel, you do not correct your misrepresentation. We'll be filing a motion for sanctions. So I think somewhere else there was this something he brought up an email that the plaintiff's counsel had sent that mentioned sanctions.
Uh-huh.
And it's like, so he takes that, he shows the email, he puts it into a motion, and then acts like I'm being threatened.
No, no. The email has nothing to do with what the court is going to decide. Okay, the court this email has nothing to do with where the litigation is going to take place and what the motion is about. The motion is mistakenly about moving the case to Gainesville, which it's already in Gainesville. The defendant doesn't understand that the judge's chambers only are in Pensacola, and there may have been a proceeding in Pensacola because the parties couldn't get it together and a deposition was had in Pensacola. So now he thinks, the defendant, that all proceedings are going to be held in Pensacola. And so now he wants to move it to Gainesville when it's already in the Gainesville district. He doesn't understand that as a matter of course, you work these things out. And while he's putting all this, this is not even a part of what is at issue here. Who cares if the plaintiff wrote him an email? What does this have to do with where the case is going to take place? I mean, if these kinds of comments are just, they're designed to inflame. And the judge is not going to get inflamed. I'm sorry.
Yeah, you're absolutely correct. And that's something else, and
No
that's something
opinion.
that I want our chat to always remember. Judges are a little bit different. They are very, very mature. There's I say that, and of course you're gonna have 1,000 cases where judges aren't mature. But for the most part, they take this very seriously. And once they get the robe on, it's a different thing. It's a
Hmm. It's just,
they
look
they
at
don't
the
come.
issue. Just ignore. Okay, so if you really look at it, my footnote indicated additional calls and furtherance and narrowing the issues. Okay, these additional calls about the motion to compel has nothing to do with this motion to reconsider the denial of where the proceedings were going to take place. There's nothing. And judges are keen to this. They're not gonna get inflamed. They're not, may not even address it. They may just say, I'm surprised that the judge addressed it in his footnote when he said that if that's true, he's referencing them back to the order where he said you have to meet and confer. And, you know, what is this?
I don't know. I didn't I didn't know. That must be evidence. Sorry. I haven't see you guys. So you guys remember, I like to see stuff. I'd like to go over it for the first time with y'all, so that way you get the raw reaction or everything. And I just started scrolling down. I was like, "What's going on here?" All right, listen. Okay,
Okay,
so
I have to take a potty break. Sorry.
okay, all right, yeah.
What do you guys call it? Biological break or organic break?
Oh, bio break. Yeah, that's Valhalla. Yeah, the bio break. We're good
I'm
with
sorry.
that.
Okay. Okay.
All right. Um, so it just finished up here. To be clear, this was an initial phone conference pursuant to the court's order, but the plaintiff's counsel refused several requests of the undersigned for an additional call to further confer prior to responding to the plaintiff's motion to compel. The plaintiff's counsel continuously refuses to respond to written efforts to narrow issues. None of this has anything, has anything to do with what was originally brought up. I mean, that's exactly, that's what Yodel's here is saying. It's like this is I don't even know. I'm gonna have to go back and see where did they stop. Let's see. Defendant supported the motion with legal authority. Blah blah blah. They did a video or a song. Gainesville is larger in Pensacola. Defendant's original motion and the present one have nothing to do with who will preside, but only seek to have the proceedings to be accessible and the local thing. Okay, so this whole page here. Look at this, guys. We're gonna bring it back out. Where'd it go? Where'd it go? Oh wait, that's not what I want. This is what I want. Yeah, there we are. Let's see, we're gonna do this. And what color do we have? Do we have a Oh, good. It's red. So this whole page means nothing. This means nothing. And yeah, this whole page here. So page 4 has nothing to do with anything. Isn't that exciting? Don't you all feel so much better now? Let's see. What if I do this? Check that out. All right, now, okay. Well, Yellow's going. I want to come over here and say hi to some of y'all. Richard Thornton, how's it going, buddy? Beth G, what's happening? I just scrolled halfway up, by the way. Sorry, yo, I was trying to get in some hellos to people.
Okay.
Let's see. Of course, Nolan never saw you. Tanya from Oz, T42, Norge 44, Deborah Kennedy, Angie. Oh, it's the only thing I know about Angie is the Rolling Stones. Anyway, see, I just saw somebody. Who did I just see? Oh, Miss Steele. Bio break is an old gamer's term. Well, that's what she got. She was queen of Call of Duty.
I probably would do well at that game.
What was it? What's the one you were terminated? I forget now. They had a very unique name, and it was their gamer name. So because like whenever they would play this one game, it said you were killed by, and so their name was something grotesque. So the computer would say you were killed by. Anyway, Beth G's just watching. Hey, Roseman, how you doing? By the way, Roseman, y'all, is like 20 subs away from 1,000. Please make sure you're sub to her. Man, would that not be cool? We could get her up to 1,000 tonight.
Like, who doesn't want to watch
awesome
donkeys? They're so cute.
Oh,
I mean, who doesn't want
it's just awesome.
Like the goats,
awesome. Oh, hang on a second here. Oh, she's got 980 subs, and we're gonna do this. Check this out.
What are the roads
stuff here? World of Warcraft. Yes, World of Warcraft. Guys, please go check out Roseman. Get her. She just needs 20. I mean, listen, we could do that live right now. Oh my gosh, that'd be so awesome. So her link is in the chat. There she is.
They're just
everybody loves you, like Yoli. Like I get people like after you're on here, people talk about you for days.
Oh my god.
Like, well, she'll get. Hey, Lady Tammy, how you doing? Do what?
Don't tell me that.
What, the people love you?
Yeah, no, that they talk about me for days.
Well, yeah, good way, not like in an expert way. Like, man, that guy's crazy. You see him? Like, I don't know what his wife sees in him. Oh man! All right, let's see. If I click this, that is so cool how that works. So while you were gone, I went ahead and fixed this. I did some editing, and so page 4, I think the whole page just doesn't even need to be here.
It's nothing to do with anything.
No, I don't know why this whole page, why this would be in here. It's just, this is like a whining tattletale. She's saying, teacher, they picked on me. That's what I think. Now, I mean, that's how it sounds. But I'll tell you what, though, he's got a reason for it. So,
well, I don't know if he has a reason for it or if he just doesn't know what the purpose of the motion really is. Because if he just sticks to the purpose of the motion and puts any anger he might have aside for defense counsel or plaintiff's counsel, he might just stick to the point. But because he's so angry at the plaintiff's counsel, it seeps out and he's not focusing on the purpose of the motion. This serves no purpose for what he's asking for. So That's just my opinion. But I'm not normal by any means. I'm
So maybe this is what the whole thing is. Just I don't know. For the reasons in the original motion, document 54. What? How many was that? 22?
yeah.
No, excuse me, 24 motions ago, or 24 filings ago. And herein, the defendants respectfully ask the court to reconsider its denial of that motion and to issue a definitive order that pretrial proceedings requiring court attendance will be held in Gainesville.
You know, okay. So the judge can just say, order. Pretrial proceedings requiring court attendance will be held in Gainesville. Period.
I mean,
but the court is also going to say it is already in Gainesville. I mean, okay, this reminds me of, and I'm just going to talk about the Koberger case for 1 second.
Yeah. No, you just want to.
1 second. So there was no stalking charges against Mr. Koberger in Idaho under the law. Okay. No stalking charges. And you better believe they would have added that if the evidence met that charge, because it would be an aggravating factor for the death penalty. Okay. They didn't. There's no stalking charges. It's burglary and 4 unalivings. Okay. But people insist that, okay, well, maybe the law requires that the parties be aware that they're being stalked. Okay. It doesn't matter. He's not charged with that. We have somebody on the stand that saying that was false, and the prosecutor's asking the question, and yet still they insist, well, it may not be stalking, it may be surveillance, it may be this. And I feel like in this motion, this guy is just refusing to understand that the case is in Gainesville already, that what he's asking for doesn't make sense. That's what I feel like. I feel like he's just refusing. Yeah. Like, it's just so ingrained in his head because a proceeding was had in Pensacola that he thinks all the proceedings are going to be had in Pensacola.
Yeah, it's like, okay, let me ask, let's say the judge orders that everything will be in Gainesville.
Well, not everything.
The judge do what?
Not everything, because like I said, the pretrial proceedings, maybe the trial, maybe in Gainesville. But if you're having a discovery issue, right? Like not getting a deposition done and it requires judicial intervention, why should the judge travel to Gainesville to help them resolve this thing when they could resolve it on their own? It's like, no, you come here.
Okay, so you kind of jumped to what I was asking. It's like, because I was going to be like, so if the judge orders like everything being in Gainesville, and then the judge says like something silly, it's like, no, just we're gonna meet in my chambers. Can the judge go back on their own order if referring themselves? I mean, it's all of this is like so out of it. It doesn't. Nobody acts this way.
Well, it's like perseveration. I don't know if you know what that means. It's when people that have a certain mindset, they persevere in their thoughts. It's called perseveration. They persevere in their thoughts. And no matter what you tell them, it's almost like a delusion, but not really. It's less than a delusion. It's perseveration, where they just can't. They keep thinking a certain way, and they think it's that the proceedings are going to be held elsewhere, even though the case is in Gainesville, and the judge already told you it's in Gainesville. He explained that certain things will be had in Gainesville. It's a matter of scheduling. It's a matter,
I mean, here's the other thing. If you just had communication, none of this would be a problem.
Yeah. Is Gainesville a nice town? That I just
That's what I was going to say. Broken Baker's here to troll everybody because I'll tell you what, Gainesville's unique.
oh, because
The
Ted Bundy.
tallest, the no, that was he was in Ted Bundy was in Tallahassee, sorry.
Well, who there was a Gainesville Ripper, wasn't there? Somebody who's
Yeah, there was recently. There was
oh, just
someone they
one
found. He's
time.
like with like the football team or something, maybe even. I forgot about that. But anyway, Gainesville, driving into Gainesville, driving around Gainesville, I never saw a building taller than 2 stories and never saw a house that wasn't on stilts. My buddy lived in a condo area. The condos were not on stilts. Not stilts, but when I say stilts, I'm really talking about cinder blocks. We have a lot of those in the South, houses on cinder blocks, especially in flood areas. It is a swamp after all. But Broken Baker. Yes, everybody. That is the Broken Baker. He will be in Dollywood. You can have your opportunity to be part of the auctioning of him. We're auctioning off dates with Broken Baker. That's how we have to. Hey, Little B, thank you so much. And welcome to the channel. There is a in the members link on the channel here, the YouTube channel. There's a link to Discord. Go click it and come hang out in the Discord with us.
Hang on one second. Sorry, 1 second.
No problem. And there's a group chat back there, and people just come in, and we've had 30 people up there before. You never know who's gonna stop by. So, but yes, thank you so much, Little B. Welcome to the. Oh, look at this. This is funny. Laura B was gifted by Little B, gifted a membership. Oh my gosh. So
Yeah, it's
what
in
do
there.
you I mean, there's nothing here to do, right? I mean, there's
No, and I don't even really know, how those jurisdictions work. Maybe the judge will say that they're going to have the trial in Pensacola. I mean, I don't know. But based on what I just read, and I don't know much about it, it seems that the judge is willing to like accommodate, like pretrial proceedings, things like that. But when there's an issue where the parties are at each other's throat and they need to work it out, he's making them go there. That's what it seems like to me. I could be wrong, but
well, I mean,
because I did ask Shane about the transcript because I noticed that the judge was commenting in this transcript. And I wasn't sure if it was a deposition or what the heck it was, why the judge is there. Normally judges aren't in deposition. So anyway.
It's just a mess. I mean, it's a continuation of what you came and hung out with us the other day about. It seems like the other day we were talking about. It seemed like all communications being done through emotions now instead of so they can just be picked up a telephone. Now it seems like to me, I was saying like it's like every time he's trying to show emails. He's very successful in that one. Excuse me, gosh, I've got indigestion. I apologize, y'all. He was successful in showing one email to the judge, and that success meant that they didn't have to pay for what was that motion?
Well, regardless of what, maybe the defendant won a motion on one time. Did he win a motion or something? The defendant?
Yeah, it was. What was it? It's supposed to be that he had to pay for attorney's fees and something else. Gosh, I did a stream on it. Can't remember it now. What was that for? It was a Rule 6, I believe, motion. But I don't remember what it was about. Was it 6?
Was it about filing it in the wrong place?
No. Is this one 6? Hold on, wait, where am I? No, this is 60.
It was Rule
What
60 or
was?
Rule 6?
No, this was Rule 60. Let's see here. Hang on a second. I've got it. It was a
Relief from a judgment?
no. Hang on. Let's see.
Oh, computing and extending time for.
Oh yeah, for finding an expert.
Okay.
Yeah.
So did the defendant win something on that motion, or?
Yeah, because it was supposed to be that in the rules it says that you can the plaintiff can ask for attorney's fees for having to answer that type of motion when it's not warranted. And the judge said that because of the emails he had sent, the plaintiff's attorney sent to the defense attorney, that that he was not going to award damages.
He was not going to award the attorney's fees.
Yeah, the attorney's fees. Yeah, sorry.
So it was denied, right?
Yeah, it's denied. So I mean, we figured
So
it out. It was
this
somebody
judge
said he was.
this judge is rewarding meeting and conferring, sending emails back and forth, meeting and conferring. He's not going to reward just vitriol just for the sake of it, putting it in motions. So that's my thinking.
Hey, Judge Matty, how you doing, buddy? Judge Matty has a he's a DJ out of Missouri. He does a show on, it was Sunday nights. I don't know what it is now. He does a lot of old gosh, I don't know why I'm stuck on R&B. It's not R&B. What are you playing now, Judge Matty? I'm sorry, my brain's gone. This weekend ruined me from Friday to today, and I want to do 2 shows, 2 Friday Night Lives next week. Man, I'm smoking something, and I don't smoke, so. So let's see here. Let's see here. They're mad because they can't do the depots on Zoom.
Yeah, but they were asking for local counsel in Gainesville, even for remote appearances or remote.
I feel like he wants to hand it off.
No, I feel like, well, I'll tell you what I feel like. I don't know what the relationship is between Bruce and the plaintiff and the defendants. But I feel that this Bruce is taking things a bit personal, and which can happen, but it's not something that you want to air out in motions, you know? That's all. But I don't know that for sure. I mean, I have no idea. I don't know these people. It's just my opinion. And the feeling that I get.
It's a feeling you have. That's how all this is. Real quick, Judge Matty does pre-World War II blues. And you know what? As soon as you said it, I was like, duh, we've talked about it before. Yeah. He's St. Louis blues and all that. It was how we started talking. Because I love the blues. I absolutely love it. Yeah. It's like everybody's got a different style, you know. Anyway, the old stuff it's amazing. So what was it? Yeah, what did you just say that I was going to comment on? Got it. I thought it was halfway intelligent, and now look at me. You know what? I wish I knew how to juggle. If I could juggle, I would just do a show on juggling, because like that's a lot better than what I do for content around here.
Well, you're a unique person. And
no, it was. What was it? What?
Lady Tammy says it might help your guests to know that Bruce was supposed to be added to the case as a defendant.
Well, so they moved to add Bruce, like a bunch of people, like 6 more people, and that got denied because it was you know, you can bring those up as separate cases if you want to. Yeah. Oh, that's what I was going to ask you. Have you ever? Okay, of course you haven't. How would you feel if you were doing a case and the other side was just doing YouTube stuff all the time on you?
I would allow it
No, yeah.
because I'm a proponent of free speech.
Hmm.
And so long as they're not saying things that are not true, they could make fun of me. I don't give a shit. They can do whatever. But if they start saying things that just aren't true, then that's another story. And that
Would
it's going to
you?
affect my reputation.
Well, would you spend the time watching it all the time?
No, I wouldn't. But
So like,
if it came to my attention that so and so was saying something that's not true, I would watch it to see if that's the case. But for the most part, when people are doing YouTube and this and that, and they're mocking you, they want attention. They want you to respond. If you don't
yeah,
respond, it dies because there's no energy given to it. You know what I mean?
that's always been my thing about don't do drama.
No. I
You
mean,
know,
there was a
just
lady that, or I don't know if it was a lady or a guy that put in one of my comments is like, how did you even get, you're a lawyer, how did you even get through debate in high school with all those ums and, and it's like,
I didn't
she's
take
like,
debate in high school.
no offense, but, and I said, no offense taken. In all fairness, you haven't seen me in court, so you can think what you want.
I have a friend of mine who he made a statement, and kind of seems like it's kind of fitting for what we're doing right now. He said one time, he said, you know what? I may not be a very good attorney, but I'll litigate the shit out of you. He's
Well,
like, I'll wear you out with paperwork. You
yeah,
can come
and
against me. And that I forgot about that until just now. And he told me that leaving a McDonald's. We're on our way. We're on our way to a wedding.
there's people who do that. Like I know of an attorney, and I won't say names, but that does elder abuse cases, and she doesn't know much. But what she does is she gets her staff to file tons of discovery requests that could be that are remotely discoverable, and there'll be motions to compel, and on the surface they might seem okay, but she just papers you to death. And a lot of defense counsel, after a while they understand. Defense counsel will say, oh, this elder abuse plaintiff's attorney is the papering kind of person. So people get a reputation for that. But yeah, there's people who do that where they're not necessarily very well, I don't know, they're just that way. They just put their energy into papering people.
I think there's two types. I mean, there's multiple types, but I mean, there's really two types of attorneys that at least like the only time I was around a bunch of people like this law school, and like I remember, man, it was the greatest thing in the world. I had moot court, and I remember this girl. She the very first time we met, she said, "Ever since I was a little girl, all I've ever wanted to do was paperwork. I will file everything if I don't have to talk." And I was like, you just file till your heart's content. And she had everything done. She brought a folder and everything else. And, it came the day of the court. I hadn't ready. And successfully argued for a bench trial. The mid-court professor, he's like, this is the first time in my 30-something years of being up here doing this I've ever granted a bench trial. I said, okay, is that good? And he's like, I just want you to know you got it. And I was like, I don't know what that means, but all right, man, that's cool. I turned around and looked, I said, what's bench trial mean? What do we do next?
Right. No, I know. It's like that movie with Will Ferrell. I think it's Old School, where they push him up and he gives this great debate and everything, just awesome. And then he's like, what happened? Well,
I love that. I love that movie. Oh, I love that movie.
I'm kind of like that as well. I kind of need like the pressure of not being fully briefed on the situation,
You
because
work
when
better
I
under pressure.
yeah, because like right now I'm writing a mediation brief and I have time to write it, and it's just I don't like it because I overthink things and then I want to change it, and I just need
100%.
I need to like have it done. Like I need to just you know set a time where it's just going to be done. And I've tried, but I'm kind of scattered right now, but I've tried to get it done. It's due tomorrow and I
Oh,
have most of it done. I have
what are you
most of it
doing
done.
here then?
No, 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 I worked on it earlier, so I have most of it done. But I can file it electronically tomorrow
By
midnight,
5 p.m.
or midnight is the time. So,
Oh, you get till midnight tomorrow?
well, it's a mediation, it's not court.
Uh, okay.
So it gets sent to a mediator. Um,
Well,
but
that's
it
cool.
doesn't even have to be filed by midnight. That's the problem. The mediator will accept the briefs even though they're like 2 days before the mediation. So there's no challenge there. It's like I need a deadline. I need to work on it, but I'm good on my feet. I,
I love it. I absolutely love it. We're gonna have a great time.
you
Hey,
know,
Lady Tammy says that after this morning, the separate case will be sooner rather than later. I don't know what happened this morning, so that is all new to me. I'll see here. What are you? Just trying to see. I do not know what you're talking about here, Jeanette. Let's see here. Trying to see what I'm missing. Yeah, there's a whole the whole thing, it's weird. There's a whole thing to it. Sorry. I was talking to a comment that I didn't want to pull up. Did you see
okay.
that?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
By the way, I noticed that our things are pink. That's a leftover from Valentine's Day. Our names here. Sorry, y'all.
Mm.
I haven't gone to pink. It's not my color. Um,
Yeah, so it's just a crazy case, and I'm just giving my opinions, and they could be completely wrong.
Judge Maddie's got it right. The process is the punishment.
Like it's not about the punishment, it's about getting compensated for what happened to this person who's was accused of something, and I'm assuming that they're not. And they posted it on a highway, and people drive that highway. So is it reasonable to believe that some people might have read it? Yes, it is reasonable.
Wait a second. So I just saw what Lady Tammy said. Is that on a stream? Did Jeremy say that on a stream? Because I don't want to repeat that if that's not like an official thing. I'm not here is just hearsay at this point.
We're
But
just talking about the papers.
yeah, yeah, we're just
And I don't know
this
this Bruce attorney. I mean, he may be a good attorney, but maybe this is a
maybe
bizarre case.
great. I mean, like I said, I've said it. So like in day one, like people were uh people get emotionally charged in this, and I stepped back from it and I was like, look, I respect the guy. He's an attorney. I mean, that's not something easy to achieve, to stay one for as long as he had in Massachusetts. I mean, he's got to be successful to live in the state. It's just so expensive. Uh, I'm not gonna. I don't see any. I don't know. He has a way about his writing that is unique to him, and whether or not it will be successful is determinable upon what the case puts out. It's gonna be very interesting. Now we talked about last week, last time we were together, we are talking about, like my big thing is I have a conspiracy to it that I think this is that landmark decisions, what he's looking for. And I know YouTube is due for one. They're gonna get it. And whether it's this one or one in the future, everything in YouTube will eventually change because of a big lawsuit.
Well,
It's how it usually works.
I will say that if somebody, this is my opinion, if somebody is looking for the big case that's going to change something, I'm not sure that they would be so emotional attack or so reactive in pointing out what the plaintiff's counsel is doing to them. Because in order to get a landmark case, you got to be removed. You got to be logical. You got to be focused. You got to be, nothing's going to distract you. Not whatever the plaintiff's counsel says is not going to distract you. You're just focused on the issue and you just go and you just do it. Because when they're focused on all of this back and forth, it's it's
You get lost in the details. I do.
yeah. I mean, and there's a case right now going on about a missing autistic teenager, and I'm not going to say the name, but it's gotten lost. It's lost, and it's all about just fighting with other YouTubers, and it's like, look, can somebody please just boots on the ground, go look, without. I mean, maybe you want to stream it for your own personal safety or whatever, but just go look. And maybe, like, I love watching those shows when people go searching for missing people, but they do it and they film it, whatever. Some people say it's not good to film it, but other people say it is. But I love watching because there's no drama. You're just looking. Your boots on the ground and you're talking and you find strange things.
Yeah.
But no, the drama is just ugh.
Remind me to tell you afterwards a story about that. I have a personal one. Exact. It
Good
sounds
time.
so much like what you're saying, and it's because there was a case where there was someone that was missing, and I went to the one of the last areas where that person was found. It was not far from me, and I did a whole stream and everything from there. And uh,
Yes, Shelley Huckabee says SR, and I say yes. Prayers for that.
you see, I don't know what this is,
It's
so
okay.
which is
You don't have
good.
to know.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't have to know. It's just
So,
this little boy was probably so brilliant.
um, Oh, Richard Thornton. I watch Adam Brown. He looks for missed people in rivers. But there used to be one. It was um Adventures with Purpose
Oh, but they
was the
got
people.
yeah.
Yeah, the guy
Yeah.
who started it. Yeah, he
Yeah.
evidently he got off.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's I could use better words.
Yeah, it's but whatever happened. But there's also a guy, Narkid Divers. It's not naked divers, it's Narkid Divers. He does stuff like that, and he's found like cars, and he's found deceased. I think he's found like one person that was deceased in a car in a river, and so he dives. He goes into all these swamps and all these crazy things, and you gotta have some kind of like respect for that. Like, wow,
Yeah.
I'm not going into that fucking muddy water. Excuse my
No,
language. Sorry.
that's fine. That's fine. No, it's absolutely
Anyway,
not. I'm not gonna put my hands down and stuff and pick. I did uh I had an opportunity to hang out listen to a whole presentation and stuff. I did a whole police thing, right? And anyway, one day was the dive rescue people. And it's funny because I knew that like there's some bad stuff they have to do. And you have the rest of the people that are in the room asking simple questions or like usually people ask questions that usually refer to something that's happening to them or happened to them.
mhm,
Whenever how it's like I always tell the story. I'm like, first time you go to a bar, your first week in law school, you go to a bar and someone goes, "Oh, what do you do?" You're like, I'm in law school. You feel so cool. They go, law school. Let me ask you a question. It's always this question. Like, now, this happened to a friend of mine, and what do you think if you had gotten pulled over by the cops and they asked to see your registration and you open up your glove box and a pound of marijuana falls out? Now, they asked you to show it to them, so you're probably not going to go to jail now, am I? I was like, what? I mean, that's
kind of
like
like
the first thing. Yeah.
kind of like you. And I have a question with me. You want to come on panel? No, I don't mind.
You heard it here, y'all. This was Yoli's last night. She doesn't want
No,
to
it's
come back.
not. No, it's not. I'm kidding. No, I like talking about the law, but I don't want to get, like I don't want to disparage people. I don't want to,
No, no, no.
even attorneys. I mean, I can give my opinion, but I have no idea about this Bruce attorney. I don't know, but I'm just giving my opinion based on what I see. And
No.
I
Well, that's
and if
what I like.
somebody were to give an opinion about me like this, I wouldn't take it personal.
No,
I rarely
it's
take anything personal.
um it's this is becoming a like a circus, and that's what I think is bad. And I warned people a year ago. I was like, this is going to get bad. This is going to be, you're going to lose focus, and it's all going to become about this drama and all this other stuff. And it has. It's very unfortunate. It's unfortunate for everybody who's involved, and I don't know. I mean, it's low hanging fruit, but people that came to this having fun and watching coin pushers and stuff like that, they're no longer there. Now they're wrapped up in dramatic court
You know,
hearings and stuff.
yeah, and it's sad because this is federal court. I mean, you don't want to mess around in federal court. Really, you don't. The trial will never be televised. It'll never be live streamed. Judges are appointed for life. It's very hard to get a federal judge removed, and you just have to have respect for the process. And when you have people that are just they're hashing out their problems in pleadings or court filings, that's just not good. It's not good. They need to sit down and talk about it. And this Bruce attorney, who has local counsel in Florida, they need to understand that what the allegations are and focus on that. That's it. They need to focus on defending their clients from what their clients have alleged done to the plaintiff. That's it. There doesn't need to be attacks on the plaintiff's counsel. Plaintiff's counsel doesn't need to be attacking defense counsel. They're both there to do jobs and do it professionally. So they need to get it together and they need to do it. Otherwise, they're not doing their clients any favors, in my opinion.
No.
It's just.
Well, we'll see what this one turns into, right?
Well,
I guess.
I would love to see what the judge's response is to this motion for reconsideration.
I would say see order and then put the date. See order dated January 15th, 2025.
Wow.
And then sign it and just send it. See order dated, and then was the what's the other thing was, oh yes, so somebody said that on the 19th is so Wednesday, discovery is due. So we'll see
God.
that.
Like, I think to myself, like, when I have discovery due, imagine if the whole YouTube world was waiting for me to answer discovery.
Can you imagine that?
It's just.
Say a major mom. Time for NCIS. She always lets me know that Mark Harmon's more important than me.
Yeah, I get loopy at the end of the day. I mean, what time is it now? 9?
Well, loopy's good. You're early. See, I'm midnight. Well, listen, I appreciate you coming on. Had a good time. Thank you for your input on this. Here's one of the things that I appreciate so much about you. So I am that goofball, right? So like a lot of people, it's hard for them to come in here and you go, oh, wait a second, he's being serious. And I take this stuff very seriously. Having you on here, being that you practice, you have experience, you're an authority, you are an expert, you are the expert in court stuff on this stream.
Well, I sent you some stuff. I sent you some stuff that I've done, and I don't talk about it, but it's like people will underestimate me, and that's fine. That's my whole game. Fine. But I've done some stuff and like was acknowledged nationally, but it doesn't matter. That doesn't really matter. I like to talk to people of all kinds because it keeps me grounded. So I'm happy I found your channel. I'm happy I found Baker, or Baker found me.
Yeah, sorry. I got distracted. I was like, wait a second. I thought you said when you said you sent me something, I was like, did you send me something tonight? Am I supposed
No,
to
not
see that?
now. Not now.
I was like, boy, I feel really bad. Sorry.
No, no, no. You probably missed it, but it doesn't matter.
Did you email me?
Yeah, it doesn't
Okay.
matter. It really doesn't.
Well, it wasn't tonight though.
No, it wasn't.
Okay, good. Well, that's okay. I mean, Judge Matty, I'm talking about the blues, one of my favorite topics, and I forgot he plays the blues. I'm like, geez, man. Anyway, guys, I appreciate y'all. Y'all have a good night over at MG Laws and Yodels. Oh, hey, y'all, please make sure you're subscribed to Yoli here. Her link is at the top, pinned to the top of the chat. It's the only way we can thank her. It's awesome that she does this. She spends her time with an idiot like
No, don't
trying to
say
explain
that.
stuff to and tell everybody here, like it's a sympathy thing. They're here they feel bad for me.
No, I don't feel bad for you. I think you're I mean, you're you. So you have that smile and you're you. So, and you went to law school. I mean, that's,
Yeah. I always preface it with I made the mistake of going to law school.
Well, I know I feel that way sometimes, but I like talking about the law and I like giving my opinion. And I have had experiences where this case could turn out so awful with opposing counsel, but I don't feed it. And it's like drama on YouTube. You just don't feed it.
Yeah, I was about earlier. I was like, I wish that people that are making dramatic stuff about this would stop. Because I like the Hales stuff from the coin pushers and the
I love that. The sound, like if I'm working, I love that casino sound. I'm
it's
not
that
necessarily
casino sound.
watching, but
It's that casino sound. And they did the storage units, that was a big thing. And then when they moved to Florida, I mean, all their content when they moved to Florida, it was just cool, goofy stuff. Jeremy does everything from his phone.
I like how they're talking in that coin pusher. So you have the casino and you have people talking, and that's what I do when I go to a casino. Like I'll play the slots and I listen to people, a lot of people talking in Spanish, and then there's people talking, and it's the most relaxing thing. And then I win and all the pandas come out and they say I won, on the machine. And it's just great.
And
I mean,
casinos have tapped into that dopamine
the
effect,
dopamine.
and it's wonderful though. It's funny because like everybody thinks about like, oh, hey, we're going to casinos, like they're like they give away like the free drinks and people are like, yeah, it's so great stuff. Man, you walk into a casino, well, you get high first of all from the oxygen they pump into the place. They just is it Mandalay Bay in Vegas? They pump coconut smell. So you have that smell of the beach, it's all that stuff. Hey T-Rex, how you doing, bud? Glad to see you here, man.
Well, you're welcome. Tea for two. Or yeah, it's tea for two.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
It was actually spelled, it was T42, and then I called her T42 one day. It's all been downhill since then. Anyway, listen, thank you so much.
Okay.
Don't forget, hang out for a second. Guys, I love y'all. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. And like I said, and also don't forget Roseman Ranch. She is almost at 1,000. If you're not over there, you need to be. Roseman, what's your thing again? Put that in there. She won't do it. Watch this. I'm going to do it for her. And paste and boom. Right there you go. Roseman, how many are you at right now? 980. Let me hit reload. 987. You guys, we're 13 away from getting Roseman Ranch to 1,000. Don't make me have to go somewhere else and beg for subscribers.
The donkeys.
You gotta do it for the ass. Wait, hold on.
The
Did I say that
donkey.
right? I don't think I did. Donkeys. Yes, donkeys. You got to go over there and what's this one? Oh, cool.
She's got to take
Sorry,
care
it's
of
a new
them
button.
with vet bills and things, you know?
Look at this. Look at that. 987. We can get 1,000. We'll get 1,000 tonight. Don't worry about it. So, listen, love y'all. Thank you so much. I don't remember how I get out of here. I don't know how I end these things. It's so.
Well, I woke up to go get me a cold pop, and then I thought somebody was barbecuing. I said, oh, Lord Jesus, it's a fire. Then I ran out. I didn't grab no shoes or nothing, Jesus. I ran for my life. And then the smoke got her. I got bronchitis. Ain't nobody got time for that.